Alright, so we're back here at this mine. Those who've been watching my channel will probably remember this one. And we're back here today to explore areas that we weren't able to get to last time. And one of those areas is a stope that's right next to this head frame. And here's another look at the shaft. Just really cool seeing this construction here. But yeah, here's the stope that I was mentioning. And yeah, we're hoping that this will take us to an area that we weren't able to access last time, so see you down there. Alright, so we're climbing down the stope, and it opens up down here, and I think this is the other side of the first level that we weren't able to get to, because I remember spotting the top of that ladder, so this is pretty neat. Looks like they cleared out a little pocket over there. Very pretty stuff. Whoa. Don't try to kill me, man.
I'm sorry.
And yeah, this is the other side of that natural cave, so we made it. Yeah, these stopes are really interesting. They're just, you know, small little rabbit holes almost. But yep, this is where Xavier was trying to cross, and yeah, that was way too hairy, because falling down here would really suck, especially because this is all very sharp limestone and it would probably tear your skin up pretty good. But it was pretty easy getting down here the way we did, so let's go have a look at this level. Wow. This looks like it's worth going down. Looks pretty cool. It's getting kind of warm in here. Hey, I'm guessing it just faces out?
Unfortunately, yes. But it goes a surprising distance.
Yeah, this all here looks like a limestone, which was the host rock of the deposit here. Yeah, that's the end. Got a nice little footwall for a fault here, and some DuPont instructions for maybe blasting caps or fuse. Kind of interesting. Yeah, so I'm curious to see what's down that ladder, because that goes down to a pretty big stope that we saw last time, but we weren't able to get to. So, all right, so I found some cool things here. First of all, here's a square nail. It's a bit rusted, but next to it I found a fragment of jeans, and there's a button here. Here it says patented May 1873, and it says LS & Co. San Francisco, so Levi and Strauss Company in San Francisco, California. It's a pretty neat find. Could probably sell this for about $10 billion. Okay, so we climbed down here just a little ways, and there's a pretty neat retaining wall with raw timbers. And at the bottom, there's actually a small little ladder that they were using to support all that waste rock. And this does continue down a fair ways, but it gets a bit steeper. But we're sort of at a little level. You can see there's a stope running off this way, and there's a drift over here that contains some really pretty crystals apparently.
Okay, I'm gonna have to take this sample home. But
Okay.
check this out. Is that not gorgeous or what?
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, this side, look at that side.
So that's, I believe that's hematite, right? With the bright orange staining, or is that?
It might be limonite or maybe jarosite. I don't know, dude.
Wow.
I'm definitely not a geologist.
And the green stuff, what were you saying that was? Well, it's calcite crystals, but they got another.
Well, this looks like it might be quartz, but also I believe fluorite was found here.
Fluorite, okay.
Well, the ones you found last time, those were a bit greener, I think.
Yeah.
So that might just be quartz.
Still really pretty though. It's very crumbly though. When I get home, I'll have to see if I can stabilize it.
Yeah, that is a really beautiful section here.
There's still more up here if you want to
All right.
get a close-up shot. There's some beautiful pockets along here. I wonder if this is what they were following.
Seems likely. And this sort of just dead ends over here. And it looks like they drove a short little raise up here, but yeah, that stuff is really beautiful. All right, let's go check out those stopes that are over to my left here. It's really cool how this ladder is set up, and you can see that it's have a raw piece of lumber holding it up. Yeah, so this is most likely the stope that was below that cave. And yeah, it definitely looks like it is. Yeah, this is a fair-sized stope. I like those stoles over there.
Whoa.
Okay, so we just climbed down to the bottom of this ladder. We were just using a hand line, but really we should have been on ropes. This was pretty hairy. But we're at the bottom now. You can see there's some pretty cool stopes. Whoops. Up there's a retaining wall, and there's a whole bunch of waste rock being held up by just a few broken beams. So yeah, that doesn't make me feel too good. But yeah, there's the bottom of the ladder, and behind me there's a passageway that goes down, and that connects to a level that we were at before, but there's no way you could make it down to there. It's too collapsed. And there's another stope running up this way. Yeah, pretty neat. Okay, so that's the bottom, which is where I was just filming at. And I made it across here. It wasn't so bad. And yeah, here's another look at this retaining wall. And I thought this stuff was all loose up here, but it's actually stacked. So I guess it's a bit better. But still, I don't really trust those beams, but there's a little drift running over here. And it leads right to a ladder that drops off into that big stope. And this is the ladder that I saw from the cave in the first video. But I'm not going to climb down this because it's not attached to anything at the top, and it feels really wobbly. So yeah, it's going to be a no-go for me. So here's this cave again. There's the really neat formations, and way down over there is the ladder that wasn't attached to the top that I saw off that other inclined winze.
Someone told me that it was marked, but when was the last time? He's like...
Alright, so we're back here at the main shaft, and the goal is to go all the way down to the bottom, but along the way we're going to stop at each level and check out some of the raises and stopes that we didn't really check thoroughly last time. And then once at the bottom, we're going to try to descend those two winzes that we saw, and hopefully there's something cool down there. So I'm working my way down the shaft, and right by me there's a roller, and it's interesting because they only have the metal bit on one side, and that's just because the cable was running on this side of the ladder. But last time we were here, we were trying to figure out what this was a piece off of, and Xavier did a bit of research, and he found out that this is actually a hub off of a wagon wheel. And that is really cool, I think. And I'll put a picture of a wagon wheel hub up so you can make the comparison for yourself. Alright, so we're back on this level. The last time we were here, I called this the 400-foot level, but now I think I may have been mistaken, and that this is actually the 300-foot level, making the one down here the 400. And if that's the case, then one of those two winzes we saw down there must be 240 feet deep. And yeah, I'm just going to show you another look at this level. Again, here's this really cool riveted shovel. I didn't even notice that the wooden handle was still on there last time. And over here we have a can for mica grease. We have this roller that says Youngstown on it. And over here, off to the right, there are some stopes that we didn't check out last time. And I found a pretty cool passageway going over here. So here's a close-up of this vein they were chasing. Pretty neat. And this wraps around here. And it connects back with the incline shaft. Yeah, so there's a bunch of burlap bags in here, and I'm guessing these are for taking rock samples. And yeah, there's this little window that pokes right out into the incline shaft, so yeah, it's a pretty neat little passageway to explore. I'm just going to give you another walkthrough of this drift with all the pyrite in it, because it is really pretty. The pyrite stinks too. Has a sulfur smell. So this is a pretty cool shot. The bucket guide bends here, and you can see they put this piece of metal on the side to help keep the rope rubbing against the wood. And there's another wagon wheel hub there. And that light you see down there is Xavier at the bottom of the shaft. And you know what? This definitely does not feel like 240 feet down. It feels more like 100 feet, so the one down here is probably the 400, which means one of those winzes goes down 240 feet. And not really sure what would be down there. It might be a dead end winze. It's possible there might be drifts off of it. I don't know. Okay, so I'm almost down to the bottom, and there's a short little drift off to the side here. I don't think it goes very far, but there's a velvet tobacco can sitting right there, which is pretty neat. And you can see there's some wiring here. I think this larger one is for the bell signal, because it seems to run all the way up and down the shaft, and I don't think they're using this for electricity. This one you can see is wrapped. So this is what they were sending down to that one room with those batteries we saw the last time. Okay, I made it to the bottom of the shaft. I don't think I filmed that note last time, but it says McKay School of Mines. And I'm gonna give you another tour of this level, and I'll try to go a bit slower than I did last time because we were rushing it. So again, there's 1918, and we have a whole bunch of drill steels here. I think this one is so skinny because it's been sharpened so many times. It's probably at the end of its life. And we have some pieces of a giant powder box. Some more drill steels and hand steels. Handle for maybe a shovel. And there's a raise going up here, but I don't think this one punches through to the level above. I think it just faces out up there about 50 feet maybe. Not sure what that is. Well, it's clear they were following a vein here, and it looks like it dips at about this angle. There's sort of a hanging wall here, but it's not extremely obvious. I mean, I guess it is pretty obvious. Yeah, look at this pocket. Yeah, a lot of you seem to enjoy the close-up shots of all the veins in here. Really cool stuff. And here's this really cool junction. I love how the track switch still works. And there's that broom again. Guess I'll go to the right. I think the guys are over here. Lots of gobbing. Backfill drift over there. And here's this really nice receiver tank. Yeah, still can't quite make out that plate. Yeah, so over here is one of the winzes that we're going to try to descend. And last time I didn't do a rock test, so let's try doing that now. Alright, here we go. It doesn't sound very deep. I think it might just end right down there, only about 30 feet. And I'm guessing they had some kind of actual air hoist here rather than a windlass, because that board is soaked with grease. So I'm thinking they may have had something set up on there. And you can tell by the Coke can that someone has been down here in recent years. Yeah, I think the other one that we're going to see in a moment is the deeper one. So right here by this tank is another hand steel. I don't think I noticed this one last time. Yeah. Looks pretty new. You can tell it's not worn very much on the end. And let's go down this drift. And there's a lot of cool things in here. Yeah, so this right here is a column, and man, this thing is awesome. Yeah, so like I said in the last video, they would have mounted pneumatic drills on it here. And it has this base, which I've never seen before, and this is actually how they wedge the column in between the floor and the back. So they'd stick like a pipe in there, and they'd crank these bolts down to wedge it. And I've seen these before in other mines, but it didn't have this base, and instead the jack, I guess, was on the either the top or the bottom. It was actually on the column itself. It wasn't an individual base. So yeah, this is definitely a pretty unique find. And again, here's this windlass here, which was probably used for this winze here, right by this ore chute. And again, we have some more hand steels. Yeah, so this looks like a complete set actually, because I think they came in sets of 3. A long one, a medium-sized one, and a small one. And they all seem to be here, so that's pretty neat. T A pi? I don't know. Yeah, so this is the winze that I'm thinking might go down 240 feet or so. Looks pretty nasty. We definitely need to get on ropes for this one. And here's this junction. The really cool slick plate. Yeah, so basically they'd just slide an ore car on here, and they'd slide the wheels into the direction they wanted and then wheel it off. And you know, this, I think that this is actually for a little shiv wheel for possibly the winze that's right over here, because it looks just like the one that's on the head frame for the main shaft. Yeah, I bet there was a shiv wheel mounted on here. So yeah, that winze might actually go down 240 feet if it was deep enough to construct a head frame.
I think I could see the bottom. I'll throw a rope just in case.
I feel like it might curve.
I'm pretty sure it just ends on there. The rocks didn't go very far.
You know, try to remain positive, y'all.
This is the patented double ladder technique.
It's hard for me to do because, you know, I'm a really positive person.
How do you like me now? Oh, and then this one ends. Shit, back to single ladder technique.
Didn't get some good shots, good pictures. Oh, that looks really good.
Yeah, the lighting looks fantastic.
Every time with the rope. Always with the tangling.
White lines right now is looking really good.
The thing that worries me is I'll get over the edge and it'll turn out, you know, it is the 200 and something foot shaft and I'm not dangling over my impending death.
Well, what's the report, Xavier?
It appears to be a 30-foot pit.
The report is,
Laddered on the way down, kind of dusty.
yeah, you're breathing in all that shit.
I think they were considering going further, but it just never happened. There's nothing down here. It's actually even very devoid of artifacts as well.
Hella cool.
Up and at 'em, pitter patter, let's get at her.
So here's this track switch, and I'm going to give you a walkthrough of this portion of the level. I just love how clean the drift looks with the rail and everything. There's that explosives crate. And we're back over here.
None of these give me the warm fuzzies.
Were we looking for anchor points?
Yeah. How much does he trust the beam?
You make grandpa's cool, dude.
Oh. It kind of goes free hanging here. This might actually go down a ways.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, this is going to get interesting.
I feel like it's gonna turn. Go with my lighter now.
Nah.
It looks good up here, so I mean your tire is really good.
Alright, so we made it about 25 feet down winze number 2. And there's a short level off of here that has a pretty beat up dynamite box and a shovel head, but apparently Xavier tried picking them up and they just crumbled, so it's pretty humid in here. But it is also extremely dusty, as you can tell. So Xavier says he sees another level, so we're going to try to work our way down to that. And there's a bit of rock falling right now.
It keeps going. This is it.
Okay, so this is the 240 foot winze then.
Yeah. It keeps going. I'm going to toss another rock. Let's see. The thing is, it's a real shallow incline.
Yeah, I can tell. It's only like, what is that, 20 degrees? Yeah, we're wearing masks right now because this dust is fucking horrible. Okay, so we're down the incline maybe 100 feet, and it definitely keeps going down, but I think we're going to call it quits here because the dust is just getting unbearable. Yeah, no airflow down here at all. And I don't think there's going to be any major workings down there anyways. I think this was just a test winze to see if the deposit continued down further, but I don't believe it did because we've been seeing short drifts like the one we're in right now, but it only goes back about 15 feet. But we did find one cool thing down here, and it's this Hercules powder box, and it's actually in pretty decent shape. Well, I take back what I said on that other little level. We actually made it down to the bottom. This is the foot of the winze, but it doesn't seem like it's 240 feet because we have 200 feet of rope, so maybe more like 180, but in a lot of mines it seems like the levels aren't spaced out as far as it is described in the mining reports. But yeah, we have an actual decent sized level here, and we have a tuxedo tobacco can, but as you can see, it's very rusted. Everything down here is very degraded. Right there we got a hand steel and a blasting cap tin. And over here we have a junction, and it's pretty cool because we actually have a candle over here. See that? The wick is still in it. Bit of nails. And over here we have some dynamite boxes, but as you can see, they aren't looking so good. We also have some mica grease and another blasting cap lid by the looks of it, or tin by the looks of it. And heading off this direction, I'm taking it really slow because I did not bring my little stabilizer down with me, so just trying to keep it steady. So yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of rot down in here. It must get pretty damp in here sometimes, but it's not so humid right now. That's Xavier whistling up to my other buddy who's waiting up at the top of the winze. And this looks like it was actually the working face, because you can see they have these sideways rails here along with a muck sheet. And the last drift doesn't go very far, but it has a muck sheet and a little can of something. So yeah, was it worth coming down here? Probably not, but now we know what's down here. So we don't have to stay up, you know, awake at night wondering what the heck's down here. Alright, so I missed this Prince Albert can. Here's another thing I missed. It's a eggshell. It's pretty interesting. I'm going to admit, what we did here was incredibly stupid. First of all, we should have been using harnesses for a lot of these drops. What is more concerning is the fact that we didn't have air quality monitors. My O2 meter had just broken before this, and Xavier's had just expired, so we dropped down this last winze without any air quality indicator, besides our own senses. I didn't state it in the video, but we could tell the oxygen levels at the bottom were definitely lower than normal. This was due to the decay in wood and metal, as well as the lack of airflow. We were lucky it wasn't at the point where our lives were in danger, but it was probably at the level where our decision-making abilities were impaired. When we climbed out, we both agreed that we'd been taking too many unnecessary risks. So if you happen to visit this mine, don't go down that winze. You can see what's down there from my video.